is this drama with Markiplier now?
Oh, yeah, I'd love to tell you. So, Markiplier, he made a movie.
He did.
Called Iron Lung. It's based off the game, the little indie horror game that came out that was briefly popular.
The one with, like, oodles of fake blood.
Yeah. The most fake blood ever. Apparently.
Disgusting. Allegedly.
And since he finished filming it earlier this year, and it's done, it's ready. But he's been having trouble, I guess, with the distribution part.
Okay.
It's apparently very hostile to indie movies.
Fair.
So it seems he is going the streaming route. But the company that has agreed to stream it is a company he's worked with before. Well, he worked with them indirectly for a podcast called The Edge of Sleep. And they did like a live action TV show version of their podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But then it got caught in development hell and never released. So
okay,
and Markiplier was in that too. That's why it's relevant.
Oh, naturally.
And so the company has decided that if Markiplier wants to release his movie at all, then The Edge of Sleep, when it launches, needs to hit top 10 on their site the day it releases, which is October 18th. But Markiplier is not allowed to share what the streaming site is. That's it. He's not allowed to share where it's being released. So no one knows. We just have to be ready on October 18th to go hunt it down and then watch it and get it to top 10.
Wait, I'm confused. Top 10 or what?
Or then he can't release Iron Lung.
Oh, I see. Okay. So get the podcast to top 10.
Pretty much. Or the TV version of the podcast.
The TV version. Yeah. And then he can release Iron Lung.
Yes. On day one.
That sounds horrible.
I know, right?
That sounds like a raw deal for Markiplier.
I know, right? Since it was his only deal, I guess.
I wouldn't, that might be...
Unless he's like, unless he's being a real one and just like risking it all for his friends for this little show can come out.
True. I mean, it sounds like he probably should have just like got a better deal for his movie.
Perhaps.
I'm not sure I would take that deal on most things. Like, it's not a very good deal.
I mean, maybe he was like already trapped in when this nonsense came up.
That probably is the case. People be shanking you when you try to work with them.
Yeah.
Are you gonna try and scour it and find it?
Yeah, I gotta support the plier. Also, it's kind of bullshit that they're doing this.
It is bullshit. Surely, once one person finds it, it'll be all over the place.
It's gonna explode. It's probably somewhere stupid too.
It's gonna be on like Cartoon Network's account.
What's that one that all the anime streams on? It's called like Edge or something.
Pornhub.
Something like that.
Edge. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's gonna be on Microsoft Edge.
It's where we had to watch Akihabara Maid Wars.
I don't even remember what this. I don't even remember what this site is called. I remember the Maid Wars. Trust me. How can I forget? I'll never be forgetting the Maid Wars. Welcome everybody to episode 136 of You're Ridiculous.
Woo!
You got me confused.
You got me confused.
Listen, I'm not the one who put that in the wrong folder.
I think it was you, because I didn't make it.
It was whoever made it is the fault.
It's you!
No!
It was you, Rain, sneaking up on us.
I didn't do it. It wasn't me. You can't blame me. I've been framed.
I bet I could check the document history
and
reveal it all.
Don't do it. Don't check that. Last week we talked about Chaos, which has now exploded and is worthless.
Yeah. As soon as we released it, they were like, nah, no more. Canceled.
God, it's only been live for a month. And Netflix is like, nah, we're killing this goat.
Absolutely ridiculous.
The show was so good. And it was like, it needed another season for the first season to make sense.
Absolutely.
It is so tragic. I am devastated.
Also, why not just finish it? What else are you going to throw your money at? Another new show? Just continue the show. You're spending the same amount of money.
They're just going to pour money into another season of Big Mouth.
God.
The most detestable show on earth.
They must have had some dirt on the Netflix execs.
I mean, have you seen the guy who makes it?
Yeah.
He looks pretty shady.
Yeah.
He's the definition of Big Mouth.
It is about him.
Well, yeah, of course it is. Self-indulgent piece of shit.
Eh,
This, we're not talking about Big Mouth, though. We're continuing our escapades into Middle-earth.
that's right.
Talking about Rings of Power, Season 2, Episode 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Wolf, let's get right into it.
All right, episode 4 and 5, frankly, has been the everyone pisses Wolfie off episodes. That was being ridiculous. We get into episode 4, and we start with, I think we start with the stranger, do we?
Yeah, we do. No, we start with the elves.
Oh, with the elves.
Yeah, with Elrond in charge of the company instead of Galadriel now.
Elrond's being a dumb bitch at every fucking step. Oh my god. Every time I look at him, he's not making the dumbest possible decision ever. He'd rather everyone fucking die than use the stupid fucking ring. And that's just unreasonable.
It really does seem to be that way, huh?
What if something bad happens? And then something else bad happens.
They've been wearing these. I mean, the timeline or time frame isn't like well constructed, but since they've worn them, nothing bad has happened to them.
Not a thing.
Nothing, and there's no inkling of anything bad happening while wearing the rings. And he's just like, I know something doesn't smell right here.
The rings have been nothing but helpful. They walk up to, I guess, what's his face? Sauron destroyed like an entire bridge, so everyone has to go like around into this deep, dark, scary forest. And what's her name? Galadriel gets a vision at the bridge. It's like, there's something bad in the forest. And he's like, I don't care what the ring says, and they go into the forest. And then 2 of their elf companions is like, this forest kind of has bad vibe, and he just walks in there with confidence, and someone fucking dies.
The funniest part is if you watch this episode, or if you read the description and then watch the episode, that exact point where it's like, Elrond's like, I don't care, we're going to the forest anyways. The description of the show is Elrond and Galadriel walk into a trap.
Yeah.
So it's just like, oh wow, I wonder what happens. I bet that forest sure is safe.
What if the ring's wrong?
Right? What if the show description is wrong? He sure was drinking that dumb bitch juice the entire episode.
God.
And then we get to the stranger and this new guy.
Oh yeah, the what's his name? Tom? The hermit?
Tom. Yeah. You go ahead.
Oh, he's like this world's Adam. He's been there from the start. I think he's in a star.
So it's kind of like, so Tom Bombadil, he's in the Lord of the Rings briefly, and he's kind of like this all-powerful being that might also be God.
Alrighty.
I'm not even kidding. It's not ever like clearly defined by Tolkien who he is. The 2 most like prominent fan theories are he's either the physical embodiment of Tolkien in his own story.
Yeah.
Or he is the physical embodiment of the god of the world in Middle-earth.
In a way, that's the same answer.
Yeah, I mean, they both. But it's like, which one do you like prefer? It's like, do you want like a meta answer where it's like the author is in the story, or do you want like a inline story answer?
Yeah.
I prefer to think of him, he's like he's God, basically.
He's vibing, chilling.
Yeah. And so he calls himself Old Tom. Old Tom. He's been here since the beginning.
That's the name he picked for himself.
I know. Wow. His whole thing was like, you don't pick your own name and you already have it. You already belong to it.
Yeah, you don't.
You just have to figure out what. Yeah, you don't.
That's why that one guy's name is actually Nobody, even though he does have a real name.
He does. He does
Poor
have
guy.
a real name. Shout out to the stranger getting fucking vored by a tree.
Oh my god, you beat me to it!
I knew you were gonna say it too.
He didn't get bored by a tree because his priorities are wrong.
You know, this is like the second or third time in the Lord of the Rings universe that someone gets vored by a tree.
I think we're learning something about what's his name, Tolkien.
This is a common thing.
Secretly
2
into
hobbits get vored by trees in Lord of the Rings, and then fucking the stranger gets vored in this one.
Fucking tree vor.
Oh, it's so funny.
Basically, Strange has been thinking he's supposed to be finding a staff, but no, he's supposed to be finding his way. And Tom's basically here to not teach him, but guide him to not be evil like Sauron.
Well, like the other Istari.
Oh, the other Istari.
Right. Sorry. I thought you said Sauron for a second. I'm like, well, we don't know it's Sauron. But yeah, you're right.
That's another character?
Like Sauron. It is. But I recently watched the first Lord of the Rings movie.
Yeah.
Who's Sauron, or Saruman is in it, so I just got confused for a second.
I see.
But yes, you're right. Tom wants to teach him to not be evil. Or guide him, or whatever.
Yeah.
Tom in this and in Lord of the Rings is extremely impartial. He's there to like observe, but never like directly influence the outcomes of the world.
Right.
And so he's like, yeah, I'll teach you how to do things, but like the choice is ultimately up to you.
Yeah.
Which is like what he says about Sauron. It was like, yeah, Sauron had, magical capabilities, but he went evil. I wasn't going to stop that even though I could.
That's not his job.
I know. It's not his job. He's the person that like Walmart when they see like throw up on the floor. Like that's not my job.
I paid enough for that. Listen, he has to be impartial. He can't just go around taking away free will as he sees fit.
That's true. That's actually a big part in like the god's official name of Middle Earth is Eru Iluvatar, and his whole thing was instilling free will on all the people. It was like, I can create something from nothing, and I can give them free will, and that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
It was, he's all about that choice. Including allowing trees to vor people.
Yeah, that's what the trees like to do.
Apparently, it's their defense mechanism. Died by vor trees.
They vor and they step on people. Speaking of which. What's her face? Arondir, Isildur, and the lady are on an adventure to find Theo. But she obviously gets caught. Because what's his face? Arondir saw her burning her mark away.
Right. He got those eagle eyes.
You sure do.
Although it was, we can agree that Isildur is a fucking moron.
Oh,
right?
Absolutely. Oh my god.
Immediately just got entranced by the first woman he sees.
Like, God, you have a home to get back to. Work on that.
You got a horse to return home.
Yeah.
He got distracted by
And she clearly does not feel the same. Like, she's like, yeah, you're nice, but her priorities are elsewhere. She's trying to find her family, which is what he should be doing. She
says, like, she has a betrothed.
Oh, she does? I missed that. Like, that's even better.
Oh, maybe it was in a later episode. She says that at some point. I don't remember. It's not super important.
Yeah.
But she is, like, that's the person she was waiting for.
I see.
Was like, yeah, I have a lover as well. And then Isildur's like, oh, sad puppy dog eyes. Why me? All women are pain.
Hoped he was dead. He wasn't.
But yeah, Arondir not catching the slack on that one. He knew right away.
Oh yeah, he was ready. He dropped the key, walked away, and set up. He posted up.
He really did. And was not only like, hey, I caught you, but now it's like, not only have I caught you, you're going to take us to the people that you work for.
Yeah.
And we're going to get our Theo back. Also, fuck Theo for getting caught.
Right? It fucked it all up.
Did you like the mud slug?
Oh my god, what a great monster design, but oh my god, I hated looking at it. The fucking antler teeth that popped out his mouth.
Ugh. Awful. I was squirming all over the place.
Shout out to the monster design team.
Why is there so much vor in this one?
What is in their mind?
And then he eats it.
He does. Yeah, let's call this one supper.
What a freak. I love it. Although I like the part I didn't like was, I don't actually know her name.
Neither do I.
Estrid. Was that like she goes and gets a stick and puts it in the mud?
Yeah.
Like, how do you even know? Like, first of all, Isildur is all the way like waist deep in, and at this point, much farther down because on top of him is Arondir, who went in face first.
Yeah.
So how would he be able to grab this stick if he's upside down? And he's the one that grabs the stick.
Also, it pulled down 2 of them, but her alone was able to just pull it right back up.
Pull it and the worm and the 2. This is like the only argument I guess is like, oh, maybe you like disturb it enough, but like I'm watching the scene again right now and she like pulls it out.
Yeah.
But then the antler teeth. Oh,
she's got that orc power in her, I guess.
Oh, it's so terrible. Oh, I'm looking at it. Well, if you haven't watched this episode yet, audience, get a good look. Pause it at certain points.
It's like a giant tapeworm.
Oh God!
I like how they showed that in like full color, full lighting, but we did not get to see like it was like the dead body that was left behind that had everyone ready to go to war with the bad humans.
We get to see some disgusting bilge worm in the mud, but we can't see a dead body.
Too much, I guess. Raises the rating.
I can go to Home Depot and see a dead body. Why can't I just go here? I also like how traumatized Isildur looks when he comes out.
Not have fun.
It's so funny. Oh man. We also get a quick glimpse of Nori and Poppy.
Yeah, they found the original Half-Foots. Or I guess like their ancestor.
Yeah, the ones that didn't make it like the trek back.
Yeah.
So this is like generations later. But the one, I don't remember her name, the woman in charge of that.
Called her like the goon or something.
The goon.
He called her the goon. And he was like, don't call her the goon though.
Surely it's not the goon. There's no way it's the goon.
I don't even find that information.
Lord of the Rings goon. Oh, it's the Gund.
Oh, he said it funny. It's the accent.
It probably is the accent. It's probably not Gund, but hang on. I'm going to turn the volume on. Oh my God.
He says goon.
He says goond. The goond.
I'm like, I ain't got a damn time to edit that.
I never noticed that. They call her the goond. That is, it's spelled G-U-N-D, but it's pronounced goond.
Oh my God. Doubted me.
No. Don't call her the goond. Yeah, I wonder why. I wonder why she hates that name.
Oh my God.
But yeah, they did find the original Harfoots, and they're there.
Yeah, they're there. They're more of a plot device. They're chilling.
It seems like that would be a much worse place to live than where Nori's from.
I think the thing was that they didn't trust that where Nori's from existed.
Oh, no, I agree. Like, I understand why they're there, but, like, I would not want to live in this fucking savannah desert.
Mood.
Right? Like, I would much rather, like, obviously get to choose. If I got to choose, I'd pick where Nori's from.
I think the Wandering's the better option.
Exactly. Although, I guess these ones probably couldn't get out of that, like, maze from episode 3.
Yeah, maybe not.
Right. They didn't remember the Wandering song.
Fools. They didn't have Wandering.
That's right. They didn't. But we see the Dark Wizard again too.
Yes.
And he's like, to the outlaws, he's like, you fucking idiots! You couldn't deal with 2 hobbits and a wizard.
They didn't get the hobbits and they didn't get the wizard, but they're like,
right.
We're gonna.
And it's like, so he's like, you get the hobbits, I'll deal with the wizard. I'll take it into my own
pause.
My paws, yeah. Into my own goon.
They really smacked that goon around. They just instantly. And had the nerve to offer their hand. Like, what, did she startle him? Like,
what are you talking about?
When they first showed up, she walks up and she's like, how can I help you? And she didn't even get the video to send. He just backhands her and she hits the ground.
Oh, yeah.
And he's whoops, and then offers his hand.
When the outlaws meet him?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm like, what are you talking about? Why is everyone just now called the goon? But after that, go back to Elrond and Galadriel. They're in that forest.
Ah, yeah. And it was a trap.
And it was a surprise. The ring's vision was right.
They fight like they're kind of like wraiths. I think wraiths are something else in this.
No, you're right. They're wraiths.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And they slay him. What's his face? Elrond knows the lore.
He's been doing that reading, fucking nerd.
Yeah. Cringe.
He knows that in order to kill them, you have to kill them with the sword that they were buried with.
That was a big crunch they did. Yeah.
I think that's more of a like a lore just for these ones. Because there's other wraiths that like that's not true for. So it's like he got lucky that it works for these wraiths.
Yeah.
Also, there's one of the elves. He's got like kind of like strawberry blonde hair and a round face.
Yeah.
I'm like 90% sure that they used that actor and that in the elvish getup to also be the original version of Sauron before he turned into that black goop.
Oh.
I should have went back and looked. But like I'm like these two look exactly the same. I'm like it's obviously, you know, it's better on the budget just to cuz like that version of Sauron was there for like a minute.
Yeah.
And also I recently just rediscovered his original name. Oh. It's Marion.
Marion.
Yeah, and then he joins up with the original Dark Lord Melkor, and he gets the name Sauron, which means the abhorred.
Oh, I see.
And he hates it. That's also why he says, and you'll learn this in following episodes, but every time he's like, someone's like, "You're Sauron," he's like, "I have had many names." He says that because he doesn't like the name Sauron.
He does not accept the new name.
Exactly. So he's like, "I've had many names." He especially says that in the coming episodes as well.
He's too prideful to just be like, "Don't call me that."
Or he's like, "Yes, I am he."
I guess I'm him.
That's like Celebrimbor at one point says like, "You are he." I'm like, why do we talk like this? It's so funny. We should bring this back. You are he.
We're close. We got you're him.
I know. Did I tell you? So sidetrack. I met someone with the name. What was his first name? I forget his first name now. But his last name was Him.
Him. What?
It was literally HIM.
What happened there?
And he told me his name. I'm like, I don't believe you. So I looked him up in the Dartmouth database. It's true.
Him.
Oh, it was Landon because his full name Land on Him.
You're fucking with me.
No, I'm serious. I should have I would have taken a picture, but the computer is angled so everybody in the gym can see it.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to be creepy, like, you know, taking a picture of someone's information.
Land on him.
I know. If I can get next time I'm in the private office, I'll take a picture of it.
Parents changed his name just to have that joke.
It's Landon. Not Landon. It's Landon J. Him. I found out what his name is because I asked it. It's Juice.
Juice.
I put this in the chat. You must have missed it. It's JEWSH.
What?
Juice. I'm like,
this is one of those names the hospital's supposed to intervene on.
Landon Juice Him.
Juice him.
It's so funny. And that was the joke Sam made.
I'm late to the party.
Anyways, back to Rings of Power. Then we sort of, after they kill the necromancer or the wraiths in the forest, they get sort of cornered by a group of orcs.
Yeah, they would have gotten away with it, but they were just blind firing arrows into the fucking forest, and they got unlucky.
Yeah, really. One fucking gets hit.
Yeah.
These are like the most un-elfy elves I've ever seen.
Like, why didn't he dodge it? Why are you making that? Surely you've been arrowed before. Shut up.
I know, right? Like, you're supposed to be mostly immortal, surely one arrow is okay.
Also, he sure didn't make a noise when he got initially hit.
There's a human in the Lord of the Rings that takes 3 arrows from an Uruk-hai, which is like 2 times as strong as an orc, and continues to fight. Like, gets in the chest, not even like legs or anything. And he just keep wailing, taking down other orcs. And then this guy's just like, oh, I'm dying.
Elves are going soft.
Help, I've fallen and I can't get up. But the main point, we see that this ring has a healing power.
It just kind of yoinks it out and he's good.
Yeah, which I think even further spooked Elrond.
It sure does.
He did not like that.
He would rather everyone die than use the ring.
I was going to say, furthering your point that he wants everyone to die. And Galadriel's like, I'll be a distraction, you take the ring to Lindon.
And Elgin's fuck ass doesn't appreciate it.
He doesn't. I was kind of surprised that he said that. He's like, she's not saving us, she's saving the ring.
Then she would have taken the ring and fucked off.
Right. She would have just ran away from you. Why would...
She was wearing it.
She even said in the beginning, she was like, I'm not leaving this company because I don't want all of the party to die, including you.
Right.
They've been childhood friends.
I think the corrupted one is Elrond.
I guess. Does it count if they're like thousands of years apart? Can they still be childhood friends?
Was at least one of them a child when they were friends?
Well, I don't know about... Well, I guess so. It would be 3,000. So, like, Galadriel's like 5 to 10,000 years old.
Yeah.
At least in Lord of the Rings. And the Lord of the Rings was 3,000-ish years before this. Or after this.
Okay.
So she's like, give or take 5,000 in this.
Yeah.
And so Elrond is like, give or take 2,000.
Yeah, he was probably a child.
Maybe 3,000.
Well, whatever they consider a child, he was probably that, so it counts.
Well, no, she's older.
Oh. The other way around.
So, but
counts.
yeah, it's the other way around. Reverse it. So it still counts, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. I wonder, I don't actually know how long, like, at what age are you considered like an adult?
Yeah, because she had a flashback that had Elrond in it, but she was like they got a child actor for her.
Yeah.
That must be a while.
Oh, surely. The funny part about this is that the entire like timeline of the Rings of Power making them in Eregion was, how long do you think it was? How long do you think it took for like Celebrimbor and Sauron to make the rings?
I don't know, 3 weeks.
Okay, well the official timeline is 300 years.
What?
Obviously the show had to crunch the timeline because it does seem like literally like 3 weeks. Like I think that's a very accurate guess as to what the show says. But the like lore timeline is that it was 300 years.
The dwarves are just sitting down there for 300 years?
The enemy was just propped up drinking fucking first age wine.
Oh my God.
With Celebrimbor. Nobody decided in all those 300 years to go check on Eregion and Celebrimbor.
Right? They're like, we need to wait. We gotta wait and make sure and wait for a message. It's been 300 years and you haven't heard anything. Elves are ridiculous.
And it's been said that like fucking Durin, Prince Durin says 20 years is a blink of an eye. And that's like a low ball. Like I would argue that 100 years is a blink of an eye for an elf.
Right.
Like they had all this time. They weren't going anywhere.
Insane.
And they still got fucking bamboozled.
They had all the time in the world and they just wasted it.
But that was pretty much this episode.
Yeah. Did Arondirs and the other they wrapped up this episode, right? Like their arc? She was returned with her Badlands people?
Yeah, she met the Badlands people. Whoa,
I guess there's nothing to say on it. It happened.
Oh, well, no, so the ending of them is with the trees.
Ah, yeah. The trees are pissed.
They meet the Ents. And we see a female Ent.
We do indeed. She's a cherry blossom.
Yeah, very pretty. It's a big deal because in Lord of the Rings, all the Ent wives are missing.
Missing, not just dead.
Correct. They lost where they are. and Treebeard, the famous Ent in the movie, says, we just don't know where they went. they're not presumed dead, but they're just like, yeah, we can't make any more Ents because we don't know where the women are.
That is good.
My man's a fucking Redditor if I've ever seen it.
I don't know, send out a letter. What do you mean they're gone?
So, like, it's very notable that, like, there's a female Ent here because it's like, oh yeah, all the Ent women are gone in Lord of the Rings.
Fascinating.
It's really funny. And, yeah, Cherry Blossom. That's fitting, I think.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool, actually. I liked it. And, it also shows, like, the connection that the elves have with the forest.
Yeah.
Because it's really, because, she, like, she was ready to fucking squash him.
Oh, yeah, she was done. She didn't want to hear any of it.
And he's like, no, I'll make things right. We're just going to sort our things out, and then I'll make the forest right. We'll get it back up and going. Because the orcs basically burned it down.
Yeah.
It was that scene from Avatar where the Fire Nation burns it down and that spirit goes all apeshit.
Ah, I see. I didn't watch that, but...
Oh, you're not missing much. But that was that episode. It was a solid one. I thought it was pretty cool to see Tom Bombadil finally and get to see him in live action.
Yeah.
Because he's not actually in the Lord of the Rings movie. They cut his scene out. So it was really cool to see him. I also liked the scene with the Wraiths, even though Elrond was being a dumb bitch.
Yeah, they're real, I like the way they're animated. They're real crunchy.
They are. It's very, very pleasant to listen to them.
ASMR.
Like them. That's right. I can't say I'm a big fan of the Goond, but, they're there.
It was mean to the end. I guess she'll come back later when her whole town gets destroyed.
That's right. Moving on to episode 5. This one's called Halls of Stone.
Yes. What's his face? Prince. I think we start with... I think Prince Durin puts on the ring. Like, they've had him for a while, and he's been pondering it, and then you put him on.
King Durin.
Ah, yeah,
They're
King
both
Durin.
named Durin.
Yeah,
They're both named Durin. Durin 3, and then Prince Durin 4. Not spoiler or anything, but, like, I'd say half of, like, the noble dwarves are all named Durin. The very first dwarf in, like, Lord of the Rings lore is named Durin, and so, like, half of, like, all the royalty are like, Durin's a good name. I'm gonna take that. It's like how half of the, like, English kings are all, like, John and everything like that, and they all have the same name.
Reality gave Tolkien an easy out.
True, and he is British.
Oh yeah.
Checks out. But yeah, he put on the blue ring, arguably the best looking ring there.
True.
Especially there's the very first scene where he like reaches towards the ring, and honestly, they're all pretty ugly, except for the one he wears, and then there's like a red one in the back that's kind of nice.
Yeah. And it fucks with him immediately. He's wrong. He's all wrong.
Yeah, immediately, not infinitely. I don't know where that came from. Immediately is like corrupted. And the only thing that we saw about these rings was, or not the only thing, but the important thing was that this time Sauron added the Mithril.
Yeah.
Instead of Celebrimborn. For the 3 elven rings, Sauron didn't have any influence over.
Yeah.
But this time he adds the Mithril, I think in episode 3. And you can kind of see a little pause where he's like chanting something.
Yeah.
And then he drops it in.
And it does something weird too. And Celebrimbor sees this. I guess he forgot.
Celebrimbor's just like, oh, let me wipe my glasses off. I didn't see it. He's like Velma without a glasses. God, fucking cunt.
That was weird.
He's drinking that dumb bitch juice again. All the elves are.
It's ridiculous.
Wisest and fairest, my ass. But yeah, he kind of goes crazy mode.
Yeah, the ring tells him where to dig to like let light back into the tunnels. And I'm sure that's gonna have the shit. The tunnels.
The tunnels.
I feel like that's gonna have
We got the
consequences.
We got the goon in the
Leave me
tunnels.
alone! Because he dug into a bunch of foundation walls.
Yeah. Which, if you've ever played Minecraft before, you know you can't do.
Yeah. You're just asking for trouble.
That's right. And it was like pretty obvious that, like, yeah, we might get the outcome that we want, which is late, but like structurally upsetting our mountain is not a good long-term plan.
Right.
And Durin and whatever the Delve Master's name is,
Yeah.
he's just like, yeah, Dad, we probably shouldn't be doing this. And King Durin is just like, fuck you. I'm gonna do it anyways. You dig where I say to dig.
Did it himself.
Yeah.
He's suddenly very gold hungry also.
True. He offers the rings to the other royalty dwarves of royalty and says like, hey, we got these rings of power. You're gonna soon experience an issue with your mountain like we did, and this ring will help you fix it.
Yeah.
But you're gonna give us tribute.
Yeah.
If you want the ring.
Ring tribute. There's also taxes
right.
now.
Naturally. And it was like a upfront pay and like future taxes too.
Yeah.
He wants all the shit.
One for one tax. Like insane.
Yeah. That's right. And Celebrimbor invites all the dwarves of Khazad-dûm to have like a little cocktail party.
Oh yeah, he loves it. Sauron doesn't.
Sauron does not. Which did you catch why? I don't remember why.
I think he's putting on like a front. He's building up his like he's doing like a play to like eventually convince what's his face Celebrimbor to make the rings for the humans. Which is this is why I had a question.
Oh yeah.
Does Sauron know he's evil?
That's a good question. So Melkor, the original Dark Lord, who is basically the step below Eru, who is God. Mm-hmm. And Melkor is like the second strongest person like to ever exist in the world. And then under that is like Sauron and the other Maya. And Sauron wasn't inherently evil to start with.
Yeah.
And he actually didn't even follow Melkor originally. He was, funny enough, he was a follower of the Smith god, the god of craftsmen. And so that's where he learned how to make some rings. Or not rings, but just like the art of crafting. Yeah. And then later on ends up following Melkor and gets corrupted, but in his and also controlled and tortured by Melkor.
Yeah.
Melkor was like chaotic evil, if we want to use D&D terms. Mm-hmm. He was like evil for the sake of being evil. Sauron is like lawful evil. He wants to control everybody and everything in his eyes for their own good.
I see.
But like he's like will do anything to make it happen, including sacrificing everybody, and he wants to basically like be king of the ashes.
I see.
He's like, I want to control you all for your own good, which is why I want these rings of power so badly, and I'll sacrifice or do anything I have to make it happen.
I see. So his concern is genuine, but his intents are not.
So there's a really good line in, I think, the final episode, and I won't spoil it too much, but it basically says you're the master of deceivers in such a way that you have deceived yourself. So he's so lost in his own sauce that he thinks he's doing the thing that's like good for everybody, but yeah, it is like pretty bad.
All right. But and he is genuinely pouting.
He is generally not having a good time. He is upset he's spaghetti. He's just like, Celebrimbor, I want the rings now.
I don't want to go to the cocktail party.
I don't want to celebrate the dwarven rings.
I just want to make more.
I want to make more. Because in his eyes, he obviously doesn't know that he yet can't control the elven rings.
Yeah.
He'll learn that later on. But he has corrupted the dwarven rings, and if he can finish the rings for men, the race of men, then that's like 2/3 of the relevant species in the world. So like, he feels like he's waited long enough.
Yeah. 300 fucking years, apparently. I'd be pouting too, honestly.
300 in just this location.
Yeah.
Because it's been like 1,000 years since Melkor died. So like, he's been waiting a long fucking time. He's like over millennia old, easily over like 100,000 years old or something.
You know, that's
obviously it hasn't been that long since he's been on Middle Earth, but you know,
if I've been waiting for like 1,000 years and some schmuck is telling me like you need to exercise patience, I think I'd blow them out.
I will assassinate you. Yeah, I mean, well, so we'll get to it, but you'll see like how it starts to like really grind his gears. I'm really excited because you can see him pouting in this one, just like it just gets worse and worse for Sauron's temperament.
Yeah, he's had enough.
Yeah, well, and we get to the point after the cocktail party that like Celebrimbor even says like, no, I'm not going to make the rings.
Yeah.
Like, we're done. The race of men is too greedy. They shouldn't have these.
And so he's like,
like, oh no, go ahead.
Oh, so he's like, I'll do it myself. And I think he can't because it has too much of his influence. It fucks up the ring.
Yeah, it does. Exactly. It's too much, not to quote the song, but it's too much bad blood. But yeah, he can't do it himself. He needs elements of purity, which Celebrimbor is. He's just sort of blindsided by his own ambition a bit.
Yeah.
Which is why he's so susceptible to being sort of controlled by Sauron.
He watched The Rock do something weird when Sauron threw it in, and he's like, "Oh no, it was my letter where I told a lie."
Yeah. Like, oh no, it's my fault. I fibbed to my boss.
I didn't mean it.
And then he's like, every single one of you fucking elves has made a mistake here.
It's not just me, it's all of you.
We have failed every race in the world. And you will not leave this tower until we get it right. We briefly also see Ar-Pharazôn, the new king of Númenor.
Ah, yes.
And
sucks.
Because he does suck. He was cousins of former Queen Miriel, the blind lady from season 1. And we also see Elendil's daughter.
Ah, she's on a fucking rampage. My God.
What's she up to?
What isn't she up to? She's ruining everything.
She is.
She looks her father in the eye and says, "I'm doing this because my brother's dead. That was his son."
They also we talked about this before. You said that like they stayed for like a day. They did not wait for him.
They did not. No one knows he's actually dead.
Yeah. They have no proof of it whatsoever.
And now she's riding the Nepo hire.
He might be. He seems like a nympho hire.
And he's power tripping everyone until no one can stand it, and he gets his ass beat, and he fucking kills the land deal.
Okay. This scene was so tilting. Was that not the most obvious shit that was gonna happen? Like, if you're Valandil, that's gonna happen.
He was trying to kill him in the first place. He was gonna drown him.
He was already trying to kill him. Why would your grace not convince him to not kill you?
Right, like, just spare him, because if you kill him, it's gonna be worse. But hold the sword.
Right. Don't turn your back to him. That's got to be soldier training number 1. Yeah. You don't give the enemy a sword, and you don't turn your back to the enemy.
And he did both.
And he did both. That was so tilting, and I hated it.
You know what was tilting? What's the new king's name?
Ar-Pharazôn.
Fucking Ar-Pharazôn about to go consult the stupid magic orb.
And after the daughter's like, I'm supporting our Farazan because he didn't look into the Elfstone. And then he does it anyways.
Dumb
because
bitch.
Of course he does.
I'm sure
God.
everyone does. Everyone so far has been judging all their stupid decisions off of magic and predictions and vibes.
Well, the funny thing is that the people that are like weary and judgmental of magic don't have their own magic. So how would they like understand it? Like, obviously all the elves have some level of magic. Like Elrond even has some level of magic sort of within him, but like he doesn't have a ring right now. He doesn't have a ring right now. And the daughter, Erlen, is judging like the queen. She's like, she looked into that devil's stone. It's like, do you know how bad it is? If it's bad at all?
Right. Hey, you know.
It was made by the elves who are not inherently evil.
Right. You guys just don't like them because you think they're condescending.
Right. Because the Númenóreans are historically jealous of the elves for being able to live so long.
Yeah. Ridiculous reason not to trust them.
The line of like the lineage, it was like from like two families, and then it split down to two sons, and they're like, hey, these two sons, you can pick between being immortal, which is like the father's side, being an elf, or you can like be mortal on your mother's side. And one of them picked being mortal, and that became what the Númenóreans are today. And then the other race of elves, it was like, hey, I choose to be immortal, I'm gonna stick with the elves. And lo and behold, you know who that is? That's fucking Elrond. Elrond was like the one that's like, hey, I'm gonna be fucking immortal. And then his brother was the OG king of Númenor.
Ridiculous.
And so ever since then, and they both had the same option. They both could have been mortal or immortal.
Yeah.
It wasn't like one of you pick one and the other picks one.
Yeah.
But it was like, which sort of like lineage do you want to lean further into? And they split. And then ever since then, the Númenóreans are like jealous of the elves because they can go into Valinor when they're about to die, and these guys can't. Oh, you are the pettiest cunts I've ever seen.
Oh my god. It's probably not even that great.
And now you're fucking ruining yourselves because this daughter is just causing the downfall of Númenor.
Truly, and the queen's just rolling with it just because it wasn't the specific downfall she saw. If you look at the background of the guy's Elendil's flashback, things don't look great either.
Right. Things are not great. It's true. It's funny. The queen's going with it because when like the last time she looked in the elf ball, she saw Elendil riding away from the city. And so it's like, okay, well then clearly I should be like not trying to object to like our Farazan being queen. Also, our Farazan is her cousin.
Ah.
He's a cunt.
He is the worst.
Like, this whole time you were just plotting to take over the cousin's throne?
The worst.
What a family ties my ass.
He didn't have a bad position either. He was chilling.
He was like second in command.
He was. And she frequently listened to him. It's not like she ignored any of his advice. She was like, yeah, I'll consider that.
Yeah, she often took counsel in his words. It's just like, and then he's like, nah, not good enough. I want to be first, and I want my Nepo son to be second.
God.
The son that I don't even like.
It doesn't. Let him get his ass beat in the bar.
He deserved it.
Truly.
Also, I like you pointed out that like when Sauron was talking to the elves in the workshop, he's like, you just look just like Lady Galadriel. It's like, oh, you mean the only other blonde female elf that we interact with?
You don't say.
Yeah.
This species of elves who almost look entirely the same. The two women look alike. Ah! What a compliment.
No. I know, right? I mean, to her, to Mordania, it probably is, because Galadriel's like noted as like the most fairest of all the elves.
She is, even though they look the same.
They do look very similar. It's so funny. But we have hope.
We do.
We have Prince Durin and Disa, who immediately realize that these rings are fucking evil.
Oh yeah. They're fucked.
I just got something in my eye. I don't know what it was. Anyways, but yeah, they're like, hey, Papa, take off this devil ring. And he doesn't do it.
I feel like at some point, maybe his soul kicked in and made him take him off without him realizing it. Because, like, one, why would he take it off consciously? But he took it off. He's like, what's this guy? The Delver? He's like, sir, you took it off. I didn't fucking touch shit.
Yeah, he goes ape shit. He's like, where's my fucking ring? It's like, it's right on the table.
It's right where you left it.
In fact, you're closer to the ring than I am still. Like, I didn't touch it, my guy. Yeah, what's his? I think it's like Narvi or something.
The Delver.
The Delve Master, yeah. But yeah, it's a lot of. Oh, I guess we also end with Galadriel in capture. She gets kind of revealed.
Oh yeah, captured by Adar.
Captured by the. I mean, we saw it at the end of the last episode too. She gets captured by Adar, but then we kind of see it here that he sort of has a deal with her. She is taken to the camp, but he says she's not a prisoner.
Yeah, she's a guest because he wants to work with her.
He does, and he says before that like his main goal is to wipe out Sauron.
Yeah,
and then just live with his children in Mordor.
Yeah, they've got it. Sauron might it happen.
Right. They just need to kill Sauron. That's his goal. Pretty clear.
Yeah, that's not a bad deal.
Well, yeah. From Galadriel's point of view, it's kind of sus, right? Because like they're orcs, they're not good.
Yeah.
Obviously, this guy is trying to say otherwise, but I understand.
They're good to him.
Yeah. I mean,
Biased.
The original plan was good. Like, but I'm sure we'll catch up with them at a later point.
Yeah.
I thought this particular episode was really good, and the previous one. The episode 4 is like a big sort of jump from like setting things up to really kicking things off.
Yeah. And
then this one, especially with Celebrimbor and Sauron, we see a lot of moments where Sauron is actively deceiving Celebrimbor.
A lot.
Right. And like,
and that lady too.
I mean, Merdania.
Yeah.
Yeah. You even said, it's like, wow, the Sauron guy's pretty good. He's deceiving me.
Hey, I'm a guy. It's just back to back.
What do you remember him saying that made you think that?
I don't even remember. I think it was just all of it. I'm like, I see. He's like, he seems really into his cause, and I think it was just after he was like, Merinder, the lady. She was like, that evil thing you saw, that was Celebrimbor. You know, he's not in a good way. He's tired. I'm like, maybe it was him.
Oh yeah, this is the episode where she puts on the ring accidentally.
Yeah.
And she goes into the shadow world.
Something like that.
Well, I forget what it's got a specific name, but yeah, it's like when you put on any of the ring or the one ring, it puts you into like this sort of like shadow world where you're invisible, but you also see things as they truly are.
Oh yeah.
And so he's like, yeah, that evil thing you saw was like Celebrimbor, as you just said, but it was really Sauron. So it's like, that's got to be the wackest thing, because she can see Celebrimbor.
Oh yeah, she's talking directly to him.
Right.
He takes
and he's the one
hammer.
He's the one that like picks all the stuff up and takes the ring off her.
She's like, yeah, that makes sense.
and it's just like, what is going on? This is the most like absurd shit. It's like, no, that's not Celebrimbor, you schmuck.
And I agree not to talk to anyone about it.
It's like, and then fucking, Sauron just like swoops his hair. It's like, you kind of look like Galadriel. It's so good. But I really liked how Celebrimbor really starts to show the cracks in his thoughts. Prince Durin even shows up. He's like, hey, is there any chance that this ring is corrupted?
Yeah.
And he's just like, fucking no.
No way.
It's like, well, what do we know about this Anatar guy? And that's sort of like, that plants the seed in Celebrimbor's like mind.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
He's the second coming of Jesus. Of course, there's nothing wrong with the rings.
Yeah, that's it really gets worse the further episode in.
Oh my god.
It gets so much worse for him, for Celebrimbor.
Sauron's throwing a tantrum and Celebrimbor can't even see it. He's just like, this guy's in a weird mood.
This guy.
He's being so silly.
The
silly one.
Oh, things get very silly for Celebrimbor. My poor guy. What do you rate episode 4?
I give it a 9 out of 10.
What about this one?
10 out of 10.
I agree. I think both are really good.
Very engaged in episode 5.
Yeah. We'll be coming back next week. Are we doing all 3 next week? Or are we?
Let's do all 3. It'd be weird just to do episode 8.
I suppose you're right. We'll truncate them a little bit more, and so we have time because we spent an hour talking about these 2.
God.
Although we did sidestep it with some tangents as always.
It happens.
Yeah, these are really good episodes though. I can't stress enough how enjoyable Celebrimbor. Oh, this is one of the things on my notes.
Oh.
That I remember talking about. I saw some dog shit article that was like saying how in this season Celebrimbor is a minor character.
What?
And how he gets the title was something like minor character arc blows the show out of the water with its performance. And I'm like, no shit, it's a good performance. He's like arguably the main character in this season.
Absolutely. He's in almost every episode.
Yeah, it's him, it's Sauron, and it's Galadriel. We get side characters in this season particularly with the Stranger and Numenor characters and all that stuff. But this particular season 2, is about these 3.
Yeah.
How is this dog shit article saying like, oh yeah, Charles Edwards, the actor, is so good in his minor character arc role. He made the Rings of Power. That's the name of the show.
We're just making words up now. Minor character.
Did IGN write this article?
Must have.
It wasn't, surprisingly.
This is propaganda.
It is. I'm very excited to talk about the next couple because they get progressively better somehow.
Wow.
Big fan. But we have a quick question of the week to wrap up the show with. Wolf, what is it?
This week's question of the week is, what color of food, candy, /snack has the best flavor?
Yeah. I'm sure you have thoughts about this.
Blue.
I would have made so much money if I placed a bet. I knew you were going to say blue. In fact, I even had asked for like an example from Rains. Like, hey, I need an example just in case it's not clear. And it's like, oh, yellow food tastes the best as an example.
Yeah.
But she originally said blue. And I'm like, no, Wolfie's going to say blue, so I don't want to use it for an example. Blue, solid choice. I cannot fault you with blue. Blue Gatorade.
Yeah.
Great. Blue Jolly Rancher. Great.
I mean, blue sour straws right now.
What are sour straws?
They just look like straws.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I know what those are. Okay. The blue Scooby-Doo fruit snack.
Oh, yep.
Great. However, that's not my favorite.
Oh, what's yours?
I can't. So the question is technically what's the best flavor? I would probably say blue is the best flavor, but my favorite flavor is green.
Green? What's green?
Okay, the only reason is because the green Jolly Rancher blows everything else out of the water. Like all around, yes, blue is the right answer. But if we're just saying like what color has the single best flavor, it is the green Jolly Rancher.
Green is literally my least favorite Jolly Rancher flavor.
You are so wrong. It's unbearable.
I'll buy like a bag of Jolly Ranchers. I'll leave just the green ones.
Mail me the green ones. They're so good.
I hate them.
They're apple.
I don't like it.
They're so good.
They're just
I love
wrong.
them. But I agree with you that like everything else, blue is the best flavor. It's true. And if anyone argues that, just add us,
Right,
like on Discord or Twitter. Just like let us know, because then I can block you. Because I don't need your negativity in my life. Wolf, take us away.
I'm Wolf taking things away. Thanks for watching episode 136 of You're Ridiculous.
Woo!
If you liked all that, be sure to hit the like, comment, and subscribe button and hit the bell so you get notified of the next episode. If you're watching on a podcast website, be sure to hit the plus and give us 5 stars to support this show. You can follow us across the internet, the main cast at ridiculous_cast on Instagram and Twitter. You can follow Lucas at 7AngryWasp with an E, and you can follow me at Rainbow Does without the W. We hope to see you guys all again next week, but until then, say goodbye.
I'm gonna change my handle to the Goond.
Goodbye.
Bye.